Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to work on the two-hand heavy club flat back pullover. The flat back pullover is a key core training exercise, and you should learn it with a heavy club, you should learn it with a kettlebell, and you should learn it with an Olympic bumper plate. Think of this exercise as a crunch where you're holding the crunch and the weight is moving to change the stress on your abs. This is a key exercise because it helps people learn to resist extension, which is the prime function of the six-pack muscles in the front of your body. If you were to go to Pilates or gymnastics, you would spend years working on this exact idea. We do this exercise with kettlebells and clubs because learning it with those two implements tends to shortcut how much time it takes for people to learn to do it effectively. First things first, let's get down to the ground. Step back with one knee, put your knee on the ground. The low hand, find the ground with that hand, sit all the way through. Two sits bones flat on the ground. Nice seated position. Get your weight between your legs. With a heavy club, this will be asymmetrical and you'll need to practice it with both your left and your right hand. Palm faces away, thumb points down. Grab the handle of your club, tilt it up. The other hand is going to grab with a tiger claw around the end. Different clubs have different barrel sizes, but this works all the way up to about a 60-pound club. Squeeze your elbows together, and the goal is to have our hands as wide apart as our shoulders. They can be a little bit wider, but we don't want them to be much thinner. Get all the way down to the ground. From here, your lower back should be flat on the ground. Do not let it move. Rib cage stays down, arms track back, club touches the ground. Pull all the way over until your elbows physically end up on the ground and your arm is at a 90-degree angle. Straight back, pull forward. Oftentimes with this exercise, people will double exhale. They will exhale because that helps them contract their core and drive their rib cage down, and they will exhale on the other side for the same reason. When you are done, sit all the way up in front, set the club down, and change to the other side. Things that people will do wrong. They will not resist extension, which is the point, and you will see their rib cage float up, and they will get a gap between their lower back and the ground. Let's demonstrate. Palm faces away, thumb points down, grab the club, tiger claw one side. They will get to here. We want no gap between your lower back and the ground. What we will see is people will drift up and they will get a space under here. We're fighting that. Rib cage stays down and these abs stay on the entire time. The entire time. They don't falter at all. All the way back, right here, people will lift up. Don't do that. That's not the point of the exercise. Drive down, squeeze the core, resist extension. This is the hard part. This is the easy part. This is the hard part. This is the easy part. This is the hard part. This is the easy part. You also learn this with a kettlebell because this flat back pullover is the bottom core control of almost all types of get-ups where you start with your back on the ground. Thumbs point towards the sky, tip it towards you, heavy part on top. Get down, resist extension, drive the rib cage down, pull over. Exhale, 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 exhale. We are learning to resist extension. We are fighting being torn in half. The heavier the kettlebell, the harder you have to fight. The thing that's unique about the club is that all the weight is on one side and one hand is just stabilizing. With a lightweight, it's not such a big deal, but we're learning to resist extension on one side of our core and then on the other side of our core. It becomes a much bigger deal when the club gets up into the 45, 50 to 60 pound range. When you have 60 pounds trying to drag open one side of your rib cage, you learn to compress one side harder than the other. That is the point. If you use symmetrical weights forever, Sometimes people will keep one strong side of their spine and one less strong side of their spine. Usually people get to about 55% and 45% strength. When we go to the club, we force people to get even more balanced. Most people have an asymmetry forever, but we want to get as close to being equally strong on either side of our spine as possible. The side effect of this is you start to get really good at resisting extension. That is the reason fighters do ab work constantly. They're getting better at resisting getting pulled apart when they get hit. Any type of impact sport, football, rugby, MMA, armored combat fighting, boo hurt, this is very, very important. The heavier the weight, the more reps, the more you can learn to resist extension, the better. Oftentimes you will set a timer for 30, 60, or 90 seconds, and you will resist extension that entire time, strength endurance. You would count the number of reps you did with the heavy side in the right and the heavy side in the left, and you would compare them. Oftentimes there's a couple percentage different. Strong side will move faster and resist extension better. And then over time, the goal of training is to make that the same. Same number of reps for the same amount of time on each side, which means you're moving at the same rate, which means your body is resisting extension generally the same. Start with a lightweight if you are not used to doing core work. If you are used to doing core work, or you do this at CrossFit with say a 25 or a 35 pound plate, then probably start in the 15 to 20 pound club range. But you can build this up to at least a 60 pound pullover with a heavy club. I've seen guys do it with slightly heavier, but they tend to start crushing their fingers when they touch the ground once it gets above, say, 60 pounds. Resisting extension is a prime athletic skill, and you should be very, very good at it. This integrates into every type of get-up that there is later on, and into every type of aerial or gymnastic skill.